Paul, thanks for talking to us on Blue Notes.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're personally doing a lot of work in an area that's very close to our heart at ANZ, and that's housing. Tell us about what you do in Cambodia.
So at Salesforce, we're all encouraged to participate in some sort of giving back activities. And so I was invited one year at lunchtime. We had a session where it says come build a house in Cambodia. Wow. And of course, me being me, I tend to run late. So I happened to run into this meeting and they went, Paul's an engineer, he can be in charge of this thing. I was like, whoa, hang on, I'm not that kind of engineer. But they put me in charge of this program that says, go to Cambodia, build a house. And it was an incredible experience. We were there for a week. And so we turned up, and the whole purpose was the not-for-profit that we worked with would go and identify people within the community that were living in almost subhumane standards, and we would tear down their old house and build them a new one, which sounds pretty nice, but until you actually got there. And the first time I went to Cambodia, which was in 2012, we actually went and met a lady. She was a widow with 5 children. And they were, I think the eldest was about 8 years old. And she and her little family lived in a space that was probably about 3 by 2 meters. And it was thatch roofing, and it was mud floors, and so every time it rained, it would flood. Now, so we decided this is going to be amazing. We're going to build this incredible house. So we tore her house down. It took us less than 10 minutes to tear this house down. That's how easy it was to do. Now, the good news story is that we then decided we built a house for her in the next 3 days, and she moved in. What's an even better story is a year later we went back and we saw her, and this time around they were living in this house that we'd built. They'd done some additions. There were some additional fittings and so on, but there was also a TV.
Wow.
Now, TV is a luxury item, which basically means that their life has improved so much that they can afford a luxury item. And that was actually really, really cool.
I think what's most inspiring is that big businesses like Salesforce are realising, they're seeing and acknowledging that social impact and creating this movement in the community is actually good for business.
Yeah.
So what's the impact on you as an employee? What's the culture like as a result of the work that you've done in Cambodia and all the other work that you do with Salesforce?
Yeah, I think one of the things is, I kind of look at this sometimes skeptically a little bit. It says what's in it for the business? And actually there's a huge impact for the business, because speaking for myself, I'm happier. I feel like I'm giving back to the community, that my job isn't just about, helping the business close more sales or, building better software. It's actually making a change in the world. In fact, again, our CEO is a massive philanthropist, and his quote is that the business of business is improving the state of the world. And I think the fact that it starts with him and trickles down to us is actually pretty incredible. But one of the best things about this also is that we're actually encouraged to do whatever we are passionate about. So for me, it's building houses in Cambodia. For one of my teammates, it's actually working with high schools in the Melbourne area. So he brings them into the office, they learn how to code. For another colleague, he's the president of their triathlon club. Wow. The fact that he runs a triathlon is amazing, and I want to be him. But but not only that, you can also do it in whatever you want to do, and you don't necessarily have to do it during your free time. We're actually encouraged to our work time for this. So we get given 56 hours every year, paid.
Wow.
To just go do whatever we're passionate about. So again, some people go and volunteer to read at their schools, at their children's schools, or for me, I get on a plane and I fly to Cambodia and I build a house.
Wow.